talking about the things that make us human. Before we jump into today's topic, this is our first podcast. So I'm Lane, I have Mary and Brian with me, and we are Unrestricted Humans. Maybe like, okay, why do I care? Fair question. We set out to make the kind of team that people actually want to be on. And what's really cool about it is our histories, of being out there on our own and working solo made us discover not only what we were really good at, but some of the areas where we could grow and how powerful it is to work with a team of people who are willing to talk about those things. They're willing to jump in and help each other out and experiment. And so that's what we're doing with this, trying to unrestrict humans one listener at a time, hopefully. The goal of all of this, grow meaningful relationships, evolve our understanding, and grow exponentially.
Ooh, I like that. So it's entirely about growth.
And that's it. You want to know somebody who isn't grown up that I got to hang out with?
Yeah.
Today's topic, third graders. Cue the music. No, that's too much work. But craziest thing ever. What do third graders know that today's CEOs have forgotten?
So, and Lane, you went in and did a little presentation in front of some third graders. Right? So you have something back.
7 of them. So I had 7 classes of third graders that came in. We had 12 minutes together. And it was for career day. Obviously, I did not have the coolest swag there. The pilot gave them fidget toys, and the police officer gave them stickers, and somebody else brought candy. And I mean, the swag was cool. I didn't have swag, though somebody did take some Post-it notes along with them. Either way.
Yeah. So you were the swag. You went in there and presented yourself.
Well, we'll see what happens. So I'm sitting there with the kiddos, 12 minutes career day. Their teachers are in there, and I thought, gee, how can I show them that they are already awesome? Mm-hmm. Because how many times a day do we run into people who never get told they're awesome? It's terrible. So let's not do that. So we started out with our very first question. What is a CEO?
I'm so curious about what they said. Like, what do they think? These 3 letters.
Well, we have some good ones. I'm going to cheat on this one, and I wrote these down. The first one. My uncle is the CEO. He's a painter. I don't know what he does. We had a few more. They're a boss. And an exact quote, Chief something something gives people money, tells you what to do, and Walmart.
Just Walmart.
Target also got yelled at after that one. So props to both. You want to sponsor us, please contact me. But it was interesting, right? Like some had heard of what a CEO was, some hadn't, and that was okay. They flexed into that space of not knowing because I asked them a follow-up question. So they all had a marker and Post-it notes, and I told them, write down the answer to this question. What would it take to make a company awesome? Now, remember, these are third graders, so I had to repeat that question like 3 or 4 times. But then I noticed some hesitancy, and I reminded them that I am an adult and I cannot spell. So it is absolutely no big deal if they can't, and they can just write what they're thinking. I'll figure it out. And so all of a sudden there's a flurry on the Post-its, and they're running up to the board and sticking them up. They got into it. They got into it. And they had an opportunity to, stand up in the classroom, which they love. They had the best responses, guys.
What'd they say?
So they said things like, things that would make a company awesome: experience, being kind, teamwork, vacations, resilience.
Oh,
I
Hey,
actually said the word resilience.
yeah. We did on one of the classes we talked about cool words.
Okay.
Cool products to sell, good people to work with, fun, being honest. And the best response was actually kind of funny. No uncomfortable clothes. The girl explained her aunt has to wear uncomfortable clothes at work and she doesn't want her feet to hurt. I get it.
Yeah.
Isn't
Wow.
it cool?
That is, and so many different perspectives. Wow, like the range that these third graders came up with, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? What's in and sort of what's in there? Like, what are they noticing that is just so resonant with us?
And it may even be what they're not noticing too, Mary.
Yeah.
Out of that list and out of all 7 of these classes, the only kid who said money was talking about being able to pay people.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
So what would make a company awesome? It's not the first thing most CEOs think make a company awesome. Money, money, money.
Yeah.
That's incredible to be able to associate awesome company from a third grader perspective. And the reason why we brought this as a topic, I think is because we're drawing some parallels between the kind of thinking that's happening within corporate America, and some fresh ideas about what it could be.
Yeah. I mean, I had a kid sitting there and go, my dad works on computers. It sounds super boring. I'm like, but it doesn't have to be, because look, you just made this whole board of really awesome company that I would totally love to work at. They seem to be in a place where they are much more attuned to what's going on around them than maybe even some of our people who are in management and leadership positions in our companies.
Yeah. Yeah. What are they noticing? Just even in their own home and interaction with their family members, conversations, comments being made, that they've already formed such opinions of company that, yeah.
And, I think it's interesting that they probably don't know the word leadership or what it really means. Like, and we're not just talking like call yourself a leader and hope for the best. Actual true leadership. They don't necessarily know what that means, but they know that there's power by being on top, and they know the important bits and pieces to make a company awesome.
I love fun. I have to say, I love fun. Job and fun, like 2 3-letter words. Yeah. And so did they give you like any idea like what they would like the company to be, the company that they grow up into, like what might a company look like if these third graders were running it? Like, it just makes me so curious, right? Like CEOs, be a CEO for the day, like they have principal for a day at school. Like what would happen if we introduced CEO for a day and then just like invited a third grader in?
So what's really interesting is I saved my best 2 answers for last. I wanted to tease that one out. What's really interesting is they figured out what a CEO was, and they all decided, yeah, that could be kind of fun to do. And then they realized that a CEO is a boss, and they decided on 2 things that make a company awesome: a good boss, and on one sticky in big capital letters, and he'd really gone over his letters multiple times. One of the kids wrote me.
Nice. Nice.
I mean, what's better than having a kiddo with that kind of confidence, or the confidence of a child to go, I make my company better. Because I'm there, it's better.
Wow, what an environment we'd have. Like if we all just walked in with this place is better because I'm here. They might not know it sounds like they might not know all the nits and bits of what makes good leadership, but they really have some foundational understanding of like what happens. Somebody's in power at the top. What level of influence, of opportunity exists there to really create greatness, to really support greatness in a company?
Yeah.
How cool. How cool was that day?
It was really cool. And as we're wrapping up today, and thanks everybody who listened and streamed and did all the things, we appreciate it. But as we're wrapping that up, I'd leave us with, what else are these kids experiencing and knowing that we have just totally tossed by the wayside?
Mm.
Yeah.
So join us for another one. We're working to unrestrict us from all of this stuff that the third graders already knew. If you are feeling like you might have to have flashcards for your spelling test, join the club. If you do want to connect with us, we are on LinkedIn, Unrestricted Humans, and you can also follow along at unrestricted-humans.com. Thanks again. See you soon.